anybody else had that sensation or feeling of reality just kind of feeling strange? Like you're going about your normal day-to-day, whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you're sitting down watching television or making yourself breakfast in the morning, and you just have this kind of eerie, unexplainable feeling of just a strangeness. Maybe the bubbles in your orange juice are making something in your brain click and you're just perplexed. You start getting into that spiraling loop of what is all of this? What is life? What is the meaning of it? Where do I fit into everything? What am I supposed to do? I think we all go through those moments, those strange, kind of eerie, otherworldly feelings and sensations that kind of come up. I mean, it's only natural. Human beings have evolved to a certain level of consciousness where we can actually contemplate our existence. You know, we're not just animals that eat, reproduce, seek shelter. We're actually capable of contemplating our existence. And for a lot of people, these eerie feelings of who am I? What am I? What does this all mean? What is life? What is the purpose? What is the point? When you start contemplating and reflecting on all that, it can bring feelings of anxiety, depression, hopelessness. Because I think deep down we want to know, we want to understand, we want to make some sort of sense of all this. And when you can't find those answers, well, the mind doesn't like things that aren't neatly packaged or explainable. We want to be able to simplify and come up with some sort of understanding for reality or existence. And in that need or desire to understand comes the most discomfort in us. Because you can simplify everything by simply saying, I don't understand anything. I don't know who I am, what I am, or what the purpose of life is, and I'm okay with that. You can find peace in that, but the mind isn't okay with that. You can do this plenty of times. I do this quite regularly. I get to these points in my life where I'm thinking way too much about things. I'm thinking way too deeply about things. And the thing that works best for me is I stop trying to figure it out. I stop trying to understand things. And that works for a little while. You go about your life, you're drinking your cup of coffee, and then boom, the questions arise. You start looking at the sky, at the stars, at the sun, and you're perplexed. You realize how small you are in this universe. And it comes back again. And I think human beings, I think that's just a normal thing for human beings to constantly contemplate our existence and our reality. And I don't think that goes away until we perish. Until our brains stop ceasing to function. However, if we're going to keep going through those cycles of those eerie, otherworldly, strange sensations, maybe we can learn to live with them a little bit better. Maybe we can become just a little bit more comfortable with the strangeness, with the weirdness, with the eeriness of not knowing. Easier said than done. However, from my personal experience, when you stop trying to figure it all out, you find peace. You find a semblance of peace in not knowing everything and not understanding things. And that's not to say it's wrong to explore, or it's wrong to truth seek, or it's wrong to find meaning. You should. That's that weird paradox. But sometimes it's best just to sit there and just enjoy the sunset because it's beautiful. Enjoy a cup of coffee because it tastes good. Enjoy a conversation with a friend because it makes you feel good. Human beings like to feel good. We like to feel good. We like to have sensations of pleasure and happiness and joy and love and ecstasy. So maybe it's good to enjoy the present. Maybe it's good to find joy in the simple moments of life. Whether it's watching a television program that you really enjoy, or working out because you like the feeling of the endorphins and the brain chemicals that are triggered, and you like how it feels to pump blood into those muscles. The feeling of a delicious meal, or a conversation with a good friend, or the joy and love of having family and friends, people that care about you. If you're fortunate enough to have good friends and family, it's a lonely life when you choose to be alone. But some people are okay. Some people rather just be alone. Some people find it more peaceful just having a pet. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Some people just like to isolate themselves because they feel more comfortable by themselves. And it's like whatever brings you peace, that's hey, you won at that point. That's the beauty of life, is that there's no set rules, particularly of how you're supposed to live your life. That whatever makes sense to you, whatever makes you happy and gives you joy and satisfaction, that's the way for you. You create your own way. I think we're obsessed with how others are living their lives. We like to compare ourselves. If somebody has, a bunch of friends, we think, oh, well, I don't have as many friends as that person. Maybe I'm not doing this life thing correctly. Nobody's got it figured out. Nobody's got it figured out. Even the people that they look like they have it all figured out, they're just improvising and just trying to go about life like everybody else. Go with the flow is a common saying. Nobody's got it figured out. We're all just improvising. We're all just doing our best to keep ourselves sane, to keep ourselves healthy, to survive. At the end of the day, we're all just trying to survive. We're trying to put food in here, trying to get some sleep, find shelter, some semblance of peace and serenity, peace of mind. Everybody's seeking that out. Peace of mind is something I feel like everybody desires. A sense of belonging, a sense of community, a sense of freedom. this life is strange. There's no doubt about it. And it's going to stay strange no matter how much knowledge that we find or what new technologies might arise. We're living in a very technologically advanced time. We've got AI, we've got supercomputers. I think in Germany they found something that just collides atoms or whatever. They're working on nuclear fusion. We're living in a day and age of where the technology is just, it's incredible. They're launching rockets into space. They're trying to colonize the moon and Mars and stuff. It's crazy stuff that's actually real these days. You know, and if you're not careful, you can kind of get caught up and swept up in all of the quick pace of how quickly things are just changing. Listen, if you like this video, like it, subscribe, hit that notification button if you want to see more content like this. If you have any ideas of your own, you felt these feelings that life is strange, throw something in the comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Like, subscribe. We got more videos coming up like this. If you have anything you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. I'm open to putting in the next video. All right, peace.